Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, The Gorge. If you end up enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing. That way maybe one day I too can become a trained sniper alongside Anya Taylor-Joy. This movie is directed by Scott Derrickson, who has a lot of horror movies under his belt like The Black Phone and Deliver Us from Evil, but also movies like Doctor Strange. The synopsis is as follows. Two highly trained operatives are appointed to posts in guard towers on opposite sides of a vast and highly classified gorge, protecting the world from a mysterious evil that lurks within. They work together to keep the secret in the gorge. So without further ado, let's get into the 6 things that make a movie great. 1. The plot. To begin the plot, we're introduced to two characters, Levi and Drossa. Both come from different sniping backgrounds, but they're both recruited to do the same position. That position requires signing a contract for a year, not knowing where you're going, but once you're delivered, you will defend this gorge and not let anything come out. One person is set up in a tower on one side of the gorge, the other person is on the other side, and you're not allowed to interact with each other. Well, that doesn't last very long because humans are humans and we need to talk to people. And thus begins this cute and funny communication between Levi and Drossa. But the more they interact and the more they start questioning what they're really doing there, the more horrifying things get. What I really liked about this movie is that it melded multiple genres together. You have action, you have romance, you have horror. And like I've said several times before on this channel, any movie can benefit from a decent level of mystery, and this movie also incorporates that. And the plot we end up getting is incredibly creative, unique, and interesting. There definitely were parts that were cheesy and that could have been better, but I really enjoyed the journey that this movie took me on and the escapism it provided. And I also really liked the ending. All in all, I liked the plot of this movie and I thought it was really creative. So for me, plot gets a thumbs up. 2 is family friendliness. The Gorge is rated PG-13. There's a mild to moderate bit of profanity, including one F-bomb, quite a solid portion of action and violence and some gore, a couple brief moments of sensuality, and some visuals that are pretty disturbing. It definitely earned its PG-13 rating, so I'd definitely use your discretion, but for me, family friendliness gets a 50-50. 3 is acting and script. I just saw a video that says that it's not Anya Taylor-Joy, it's Anya Taylor-Joy, however you say that beautiful woman's name. I love watching her performances on screen because they're always so good. I will say, however, in the first act of this movie, I wasn't super sold on her performance. I also really like Miles Teller as an actor, and I think he did a good job in this movie as well. I don't think the acting was incredible, but I think that the on-screen chemistry between the two was there when it needed to be, and it served its purpose enough for the movie to be really enjoyable. It was also cool to see Sigourney Weaver in this movie, even though she wasn't in it for a super long time. And then there's the script of this movie. I really enjoyed the interactions and dialogue between the characters of this film. And the thing is, it's not always audible because it's two people trying to talk to each other from across this entire gorge. But it's creative, fun, and charming, and I really liked that. On the other side, though, there are some moments written into this movie that are really cheesy, but it was what it was. So while the acting and script weren't incredible, I did enjoy what I saw on screen. So for me, acting and script get a thumbs up. 4 is character development. I'd say out of all the characters, Drossa has the most character development, and that's because they give her a bit of a backstory. While Levi has a backstory, you don't get to see much of it, and there's not a whole lot to his character. This is a very story-driven film, and so the characters and character development just didn't have a ton to them because it wasn't necessary to make this idea and make the movie work. But here's the thing, you still cared about Levi and Drossa, and if a movie can make you care about the characters involved, even if they don't have the most depth, it's okay, it served its purpose. I will say that the antagonists of the movie, besides what's going on with the gorge, didn't feel great, and I wish we could have gotten a little bit more. But all in all, for me, character development gets a 50-50. 5 is visuals and CGI. On top of the idea behind this movie being very interesting and original, so many of the visuals were extremely vivid and creative. Some of the creature design you see in this film and the landscape that you're watching, I was really impressed with. On the other side of that, though, there are some moments that have some pretty bad CGI. And there are a couple visuals that are the result of story moments that just don't really work. And those things definitely challenge my willing suspense of disbelief. But I still think this movie netted positive quite a bit. So for me, visuals and CGI get a 50-50. And 6 is rewatchability. The Gorge clocks in at just over 2 hours long. And though you definitely feel the 2 hours, I wasn't mad about it. The concept of this film is so interesting and unique that it carried my attention for the whole time. Through the slow moments, through the action-packed moments, there was was always something that was capturing my attention and holding it. And for all those reasons, it was easy to overlook most of the moments that held this movie back from being even more incredible. But honestly, I'll take it, and I would definitely watch it again. So for me, rewatchability gets a thumbs up. With all these areas considered, I have to give The Gorge a 7.5 out of 10. This movie had some bad CGI. It had a couple story moments that were either cheesy, really unbelievable, or could have been written a bit differently. And the characters themselves lacked a bit of depth. But this movie had so much creativity behind it. The creature design was awesome. The action sequences were intense. There were some awesome visuals in addition to the action sequences. And the melding of all the genres of mystery, horror, action, and romance really just worked for me. The only sad part about this movie is the fact that it's only available to watch on Apple TV. So being gatekept by that is kind of annoying. But if you have Apple TV and any of that sounds interesting, I would definitely recommend watching The Gorge. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen The Gorge, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.